Sometimes the most amazing stories are hiding in plain sight. They're locked away in these old documents that you can barely even read. Well, today, we're going to crack open a real business mystery from the 1980s. And it all starts with this.
Okay, so here's our starting point. It's this thing, a really poorly scanned, maybe even coffee-stained document from 1990. I mean, look at it. At first, it just seems like a jumbled list of dates and some Japanese names, right? Kind of cryptic. But buried inside these faded pages is the story of a mission to solve one of the biggest economic questions of the entire 20th century.
So, to really figure out what's going on here, we have to go back, way back. We're talking about the decade of boomboxes, some seriously big hair, and an even bigger economic puzzle. The 1980s. This was the era of what everyone called the Japanese economic miracle. I mean, from cars to electronics, Japanese industry just seemed totally unstoppable. And this document, this strange list, it actually tracks one person's intense, decade-long mission to explain, right from the inside, exactly how they were doing it. And here's the thing. This created a massive gap in understanding. The rest of the world saw the results, right? The incredible products, the total market dominance. But how they were doing it, that felt like a complete black box. Seriously, from the highest boardrooms to the factory floors, everybody was asking the exact same question. How are they doing it? What's the secret? And this is where our mystery document gives us its first big clue. The answer? It was being carried lecture by lecture all across Scandinavia by one person, a man named Kawasaki. And he wasn't just some lecturer. He was more like a cultural translator on a personal mission to decode Japan's success for the rest of the world. Okay, so what was he actually teaching? What was the secret sauce? Well, looking through the document, you start to see three core ideas pop up again and again in his lectures. And the first one? It was a whole philosophy that completely challenged the Western idea of what a company even is.
He called it Japanese-style management. And look, this was not just about making things faster or cheaper. It was a totally different way of thinking. It saw a company not as a machine for making money, but as a community. The whole thing was built on ideas like lifetime employment, making decisions as a group, and a genuine, holistic concern for employees. Pretty radical, right?
And get this, the people listening weren't just a few curious academics. We are talking about the heavy hitters, industrial giants like Volvo Truck Corporation, national industry federations, even public housing companies. The demand to figure this out was coming from the very, very top of Scandinavian business and society. All right, but a philosophy is one thing, right? It's great to have big ideas, but how did it actually work down on the factory floor? And that brings us to the second key idea we see in these lectures, what you could call the real engine of innovation. It was something called a quality circle, or QC circle. And the concept? It's actually really simple, but so powerful. The idea was to empower the people doing the actual work, the workers on the ground, to find and solve problems themselves. It just completely flipped the script from the usual top-down commands to bottom-up innovation. And the process itself is this never-ending loop. See, you don't just fix something and move on. No. You identify a problem, you analyze it, you come up with a solution, you review the results, and then you do it all over again. Forever. It's this relentless cycle of small, constant improvements, all driven by the workers. That became the powerhouse behind Japanese quality. And just like before, the interest in this was huge. We're seeing top management associations, major universities like Chalmers, the Swedish Employers Federation, they all wanted to understand this. It really shows that people weren't just hungry for the philosophy, they wanted the practical, hands-on tools that were actually delivering these amazing results. Now, the third concept that Mr. Kawasaki was sharing, this one was maybe the most ambitious of all. It scaled things up from just changing a single company to completely reinventing an entire city. This was Japan's Technopolis concept, and it was this incredibly bold national strategy. The goal was literally to build brand new cities from scratch, cities designed from the ground up to be these amazing hubs for high-tech industries, for research, and for living. It was all about fusing technology, universities, and community, all in one place. And you can see from the document that this futuristic vision really struck a chord, especially in the Nordic countries. You have industrial conferences in Sweden, county governments, even the government of Lapland and Finland. All these leaders were studying the model. They were asking themselves, hey, could we do this? Could we build our own technopolis right here? So when you start to connect all the dots, right, from management philosophy to these quality circles, all the way up to city planning, you realize this was never just about business lectures. It was something much, much bigger. And there's this one lecture title buried in the list that just says it all. It's called Differences in Thinking Between Japan and Europe. That's it. That was the real mission. Mr. Kawasaki wasn't just translating business jargon. He was translating an entire worldview. He was acting as a human bridge between two profoundly different cultures, right at this crucial moment in history. And the sheer scale of this effort, just by one person, it's honestly staggering. This document, our little artifact, it logs over 80 different cross-cultural exchanges, lectures, seminars, meetings, all in just 10 years. Think about that. A relentless one-man mission, all dedicated to helping people understand each other. Which, it leaves us with a pretty big question for our own time. In an age of AI translators and instant messaging, we have all these tools for connection more than ever before. But maybe we've lost something too. This old, faded document, it's a testament to the slow, patient, powerful work of a human bridge, of one person, dedicated not just to translating words, but to translating entire worlds. And it really makes you wonder, have we forgotten how important that is? Have we forgotten how to build those bridges?